the night these pre-orders came home. Here's your look at the new Fright Rags John Carpenter's Halloween Retro 3.75-inch figures. Probably one of the reasons why you guys aren't currently seeing these guys spinning on the rotisserie is because I have yet to open them up. Part of me honestly doesn't even want to open up these figures for how rare they seem to be right now. The price you can check online to places like eBay, for example, and a set of 3 figures can already now go way over $200. At the time that Fright Rags first made this pre-order available way back last year, these figures were $20 a piece. They are certainly not $20 a piece any longer. And I think one of the big sells for this set, not only is the fact that you're getting retro-looking figures with, granted, yes, limited articulation, but looking how good these look on card and the new artwork that they're using here, which is sort of, I guess, just the photo that they've now changed in shop. But how good these look. Part of me doesn't even really want to open these up. I want to kind of keep them sealed. But for, of course, the sake of doing the reviews of these, I know you guys will want to see what these guys look like out of hand or in hand. So I'm going to cut these as carefully as I can and hope, if anything, I can put them back in their packaging, because I think I will want to put these maybe on the wall for how good these each look. The thing I like also about that Fright Rag did with all of these is that they sort of give you like retro packaging. So down below, for example, there's a special mail away comic book offer where you can sign on board and get Laser Man, Tarantula Man, and Neutron Man. I think that's a fun touch that they included that. Of course, we have Laurie Strode here on the front, and then on the back, sort of gives you like almost a comic book advertisement, the way they showcase these. You can use your knife when the killer attacks. Other characters available: Michael Myers and Linda Vanderklok. I never really realized that was the last name of Linda. Totally. But yeah, there's the mail away there. It's not actually really a mail away, but there's Laser Man, Tarantula Man, Neutron Man. I think that's so cool, the fact that they actually did do that. Fright Rags, Plastic Meatball, International Compass Pictures, and Slasher Design Company all brought these figures to life. And there's the packaging for Laurie Strode. Again, the same thing applies for Linda Vanderklok. She does come included with her purse. She doesn't come included with her textbook. She just leaves those back at class. And again, you got the nice image there of PJ Souls. And then on the back, the exact same thing. Always be ready with your accessories bag. Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. And then there's also just a read-up here, which I didn't actually show you guys here. For Laurie Strode, there's the read-up if you would like to pause and read for yourself. And there's the one for Linda Vanderklok. And then last, and certainly not least, Michael Myers. Now, Michael Myers comes included with the Judith Myers tombstone. Nice little touch. Funny enough, it doesn't look as if he... Oh, right, he does come with his knife. My finger was covering over it. And there's Michael Myers, of course, in his off-green colored coveralls. Advertisement once again for the comic, and then flip around to the back, a read up. And this one's funny. It says, "Don't let her get away, Michael." I don't know if it's the ghost of his sister Judith telling him to go kill Laurie. Oh, right. That's a different franchise. But again, I really like the way that these cards are done. And I can certainly understand why these are as rare as they are now and why online the prices are as high as they are. I did want to show you guys, though, as a time capsule, just to show you guys how good these look on packaging. But yes, for the sake of this review, regrettably, I will be opening these up to get a closer look at the figures. Okay, you can do this, resuming with the rest of this review, carefully slicing the side of the packaging. Let's not destroy it after all. One side, do the same on the other side here. Careful. Is that enough? Let's see if we can actually take her out without breaking the blister on the card. Again, I just don't even want to really open these, but... Oh, there we go. There's one of them. That's 2. One more. Totally. Rounding the corner. There. I did it. The Halloween 3.7-inch figures are pocket-sized versions of your favorite Haddonfield characters. Each feature 5 points of articulation and come included with movie-specific accessories. The figures vary slightly in size, with Laurie seeming to be the shortest of the 3. course, before we get a closer look at the figures and the accessories that come included with them, let's first just figure out how tall they actually stand. Now, Laurie is about 3¼ inches in height, and that works out to be a figure that's about 8 centimeters tall. Linda isn't that much taller. She's just, I guess it would be maybe a little, about 3½ almost inches in height, and that's a figure that's about 18 centimeters tall. And then Michael, being the tallest of the three, is actually closer to topping 4 inches in height, and that works out to be a figure that's about 9 inches in height. One thing I did get included with my purchase from Fright Rags is a They Live card. Well, it actually serves as well as a sticker, so you could actually peel the back off and stick that somewhere. I always love the artwork that they do over at Fright Rags. One of these days, I would love to pick up some of their various t-shirts that they have over on their site, but that came included also with my purchase as well. Moving on to the side, let's have a look at the accessories that come included with each of the figures. Laurie gets the best of the three as she comes with 3 accessories. Linda comes with only the 1, and Michael Myers comes with 2. Laurie's, though, while it not necessarily be the pumpkin that she has in the movie, is actually the opener intro pumpkin, the one that we see with the notable slash cut into the nose. It's nicely done. I mean, it's just a little small representation of the pumpkin that appears at the beginning of the film. She unfortunately can't actually hold the pumpkin. So if you're actually looking to have her carry it around, she can't do that. There's a space too much in between her arms. But like I said, it's nicely detailed. You see they've added some additional yellow to show the illumination, both the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Nice little cool little pumpkin. For a second, it actually looked as if you could actually open up the pumpkin, but I had to remind myself that that's Halloween 2. That's not Halloween 1. Put that to the side. She also comes included with a coat hanger. Now, this coat hanger has not been opened up yet, nor has it been poked into Michael Myers. It's been left as is. This can actually fit in her hand, although her hands are a little more open, so you sort of have to just take, not and drop it in the process, but you sort of have to just, hold on one second, let me grab that. Let's not go losing accessories now, especially on such expensive figures. One thing you could do, I suppose, as well, is you could take the hook of the hanger and sort of just drape it over top of her hand as if she's about to hang a shirt, and not necessarily poke a serial killer. The hanger doesn't, I wish it could have actually sat better in her hands. It's almost as if her hands really aren't designed to hold either the hanger nor the next thing either. She comes included with a knife. It seems to be, I'm just going to put her down here for a second. It seems like it is the exact same knife as what comes included with Michael Myers. They haven't done anything different between them. In fact, the handles also seem identical. Anyways, though, like I said, even the knife doesn't sit well enough in her hand. I don't know how many times already I've tried this, and it usually results in the same. It drops onto the floor, and I have to quickly grab it. It doesn't fit well either in this hand either, so I almost feel as if I need to go in there and heat the hand with a little bit of hot water and see if I can kind of close the hand a little bit more. You can kind of do it right now with just your hands, and that's one thing that helps for her to hold the knife. But even then, it sits way too loose in her hands. Bummer. Gonna put that to the side. Getting a closer look, though, at Laurie Strode, I feel like she's actually the better of the 3 figures that we get here. Michael Myers is pretty good, too, but I think if you're wanting to look at likeness, as close of a likeness as you could get for a retro-looking figure like this, I think Laurie looks the best. She sort of has more of a disappointing look on her face. Maybe because Annie's going to be talking to Ben Tramer. Ooh, Ben Tramer. We already know what happens to Ben Tramer. But yeah, the head sculpt is passable, certainly on a sized Laurie of this size. She has, of course, her tucked-in blouse. Really high mom slacks. You see what they look like on the back. Really nicely detailed, the way they wrinkled the shirt and wrinkled the pants. And again, like, the head sculpt is pretty good on this. I could believe this, at least to be Laurie Strode. I mean, I'm not looking at this and like, I don't know who this character is. Granted, yes, it probably does help the outfit that she's wearing. Now, all these figures are pretty much going to have the same articulation. So like her head does rotate somewhat all the way around, although she does have slightly longer hair. Linda's is even worse. Totally. Arms rotate, yeah, all the way around as well. She doesn't have any waist articulation, but her legs do go forward and back. She does sort of have the same issues as old retro figures would be. And the fact that they have like boxed off behinds, it means that you can't bring the legs further back beyond this point. So if anything, she can sit inside of Annie's car. I do hope that we get ourselves an Annie retro figure like this at some point down the road. But that's Laurie Strode. Just put her down here for a second. Picking up then the accessories that come included with Linda Vanderklock. She comes included with her bag. It looks like there's a comb in the bag, possibly a phone number. I'm not really sure what exactly that is on the other pocket. But the bag is made of a softer plastic, at least the strap is. And you can take the bag and just put it over top of her shoulder. The way they sort of have sculpted the hair, one thing you can actually do is take the strap and kind of put it underneath her arms and just underneath her hair. And of course, Linda could be walking away from school, leaving all her homework behind. Linda's not all about homework. Linda's not all about schoolwork, it seems, either. Anyways, the head sculpt, again, is not bad. It's believable enough that that looks like PJ Souls. For some of you that would inquire to get a PJ Souls pocket-sized figure to carry around with you, your prayers have been answered. She does have the same alternating green and white striped shirts and her bomber jacket over top of that. Does have, again, sort of the high running slacks. And this one actually she does have the little sandals as well. No peg holes on the undersides of the figure's feet here. Just taking off the bag for the time being. Articulation here on Linda is a little bit more limited, simply just because she does have the longer pigtails and longer hair on the back. So when it comes to rotating her head, it almost doesn't even exist. She does have arm articulation, the same as Laurie, so at least you can do that. And like Linda, or like Laurie, you can have Linda sitting down in a car. I guess if you wanted to. I wonder if there's a small enough car that you can have these figures fitting inside of. But that's Linda. On to Michael Myers. Michael Myers comes included with our beloved daughter Judith Myers' tombstone. Once again, born November 10th, 1947, died October 31st, 1963. It doesn't look like they've actually cut in the sculpting of the letters for the tombstone. They actually have just printed it onto the surface, but that's fine. It's a nice little representation of the tombstone. Certainly light enough that even Michael Myers, even Laurie would really be able to pick this up and carry it around. It's just light plastic. Michael Myers also comes included with the very same knife as we already looked at before. Softer plastic, and this does fit into his hand. Now, unlike Laurie, at least Michael does have circular gripping hands. So you can take the knife, and while it doesn't still sit well enough in there, it sits very loose. But at least it's less likely to fall out of his hands. Unlike the number of times, it's got to be at least 30 times I've tried to put any one of the accessories into Laurie. Every single time. You haven't seen it. Every single time they've fallen onto the floor. But Michael's knife does sit just as loose as Laurie's. This hand here seems, it survives the blizzard test. Sits a little bit better in his hands. And I guess if you wanted to, you could take the knife out and put it the opposite way. Now that's tempting fate. That's not going to stay. Is it? Barely. Yeah, we're going to take that out before it falls onto the floor. Michael Myers' head sculpt is decent. Again, I don't really have issues for this. If you're expecting realism here on the sculpting of these retro figures, based on sort of what you would expect to see in the late 70s and early to mid 80s, I think you need not apply. Of course, Michael Myers is more simplified on the sculpting. His hair, surprisingly, is quite brown. I think it probably could have been a little bit darker of a brown. He's got the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Loomis was right. I do like the way they've sculpted the mask. It looks almost a little bit more like Curse Michael Myers than it does 78 Michael Myers, but at least it's a believable looking Michael Myers. We're going to leave the debate away of the topic of what color these coveralls should be. In this case, Fright Rags decided to color these blue. It's fairly bright blue as well. It looks as if they've almost even added a darker coloring of wash to it, because there's some of the areas of his coveralls that almost appear to be black rather than blue. Again, when it comes to him, even though he has the articulation in the legs, the idea is this is supposed to be a head-to-toe coveralls. Of course, he does have his footwear down below there. Very boxy-looking boots. No peg holes on the other sides of the feet on this figure either as well. Again, for the articulation on Michael Myers to be the same, you're getting 5 points of articulation. So that's a neck rotation. That's an arm rotation. That's 2. That's 3. And then 4 and 5 make Michael sit down in a station wagon. How he was able to learn to drive, somebody must have taught him. Michael Myers can at least sit inside of a station wagon. Although I don't suspect that they'll be doing a station wagon for this line of figures anytime soon. Overall, I am happy with this set. I'm even happier the fact I was able to actually take the figures out of their packaging without destroying them. Because right after this review, as good as these figures do look loose, I think I'd be more inclined to put them back in their packaging and put them on the wall. Notably, though, I don't know if you guys did notice this, but those cards were so pristine, in fact, that the pegs, the holes on the tops of the card hadn't even been punched out yet. I'm going to have to punch them out in order to put them on the wall. But what I do like about this line of figures is that if you're a big fan of the retro line, the more simpler, basic figures, these definitely do a better job of servicing those collectors out there. And again, if you did like to keep these, it's still sealed in card. I probably wouldn't recommend maybe picking these up in the aftermarket, but if you were lucky enough to pre-order these when you did, these figures would have been sitting at around $20 a piece. Try to find these guys now. Even the individual figures I found on eBay, Laurie Strode was sitting at around $60 US. Michael Myers about the same. I don't recall what Linda was, but I would imagine she would be probably along the same lines of $60. Whether, though, Fright Rags will be continuing to go with this line, because really, after all, we only have 3 figures so far. There's still a potential for, of course, well, I think you most definitely do a Sheriff Brackett, probably do an Annie, and I would probably do maybe, I don't know if I would do Bob's, but I would probably do Bob's Sheet Michael Myers. They're right there. There's another 3 figures. Maybe you even do a Ben Tramer before he's set on fire or gets crashed into that car. Still nice looking figures. I would, again, tread cautiously when trying to track these down. Get them from at least a source where somebody's not skyrocketing the prices. Because again, picking up all 3 of these on eBay, I've seen them go for like $200 to $250, no fooling. All the more reasoning why I was a little more reluctant to open these up. But I gotta say, like, even whether you don't have them sealed or not, they're nice looking figures to put on display loose. Generally, I've noticed when websites have exclusive run figure lines or collectibles that you have to really get in on that pre-order right away. If not, you run the risk of having to pay the aftermarket prices, which generally a lot of times skyrocket. Case in point, I mean, this set only was announced and the pre-order was launched last year. I had hoped to do this during October, but unfortunately, just due to the drawn out time for when these would actually be shipped out, I wasn't able to do them during the month of October. These now just have started to show up at people's doorsteps. This one was delivered to me about a week or so ago prior to this review. And since then, like I said already in this review, the prices have gone ugly online. It's going for stupid money. And I would not encourage picking this set up for some really stupid money. If you want to spend the money, that's fine. But $200 plus for only 3 figures that have 5 points of articulation, I would rather say instead, get on the pre-order while it's there. Don't pay the prices afterwards. Again, it's entirely up to you what you want to do with your stupid money. I would rather keep my stupid money and pay the prices of what they go for at the time that the pre-order launches. $200 is a little bit steep for 3 figures like this. Collectively, the figures do look good. I am happy at least that I was able to take them out of their cardboards the way that I was, so I can actually, at the end of this review, put them back into their blister cards, which is exactly what I think I'm going to be doing. The artwork on all 3 of the cards is too good to throw out or to recycle. Instead, I'm going to put them back into their card. I'm going to hang them on my wall. They're still going to be just as good of a figure as they were right now when we were looking at them loose, but at least I have the benefit of keeping the artwork on the cards because, like I said, the cards are too good to throw out. Were you lucky enough, I hope, to get these when the getting was good? And I hope you didn't pay stupid money. My daughter would always say, that's a strong word. You should never say stupid. My daughter is right. Even at 5 years old, you should never say stupid. But did you get these at least before they went to stupid prices? Let me know down below in the comments section. And if you are new to this channel, you're enjoying the content that you're seeing, make sure if you haven't already done so that you hit the subscribe button down below, that you turn on the bell notification, and that you're coming back. While we have wrapped up the review for what now seems to be stupid money on these figures, I gotta stop. There is definitely going to be more videos coming your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.